Hello everybody, it's me here, Cameron Brown, and a warm welcome to the HowToCameron channel and welcome to a new video. Guys, we're back with another video doing relationship advice. I'm back here again doing another video talking about relationship advice. I want to firstly start off by saying that I'm not making this video to really get views. I understand that this video is probably very niche and hence probably won't do very well in the short term. But that's not really what I care about. I don't care about views. I just care about helping people. And these types of videos to me, they're so interesting to make. And I feel like even if these videos aren't related to your situation, or maybe you don't even have a situation to begin with, I still think there is some intrinsic value in watching them because it's good to learn about situations that you could potentially be in the future. We're all going to live very long lives. It's very important to know how to deal with certain situations and being able to identify certain situations. Before this video starts, if you guys do enjoy it, be sure to smash the like button, show your support for this series and this video. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new today. I've got some great content coming out. So today we're going to be talking about dating an emotionally unavailable woman. What a great title to the video. I don't know what I'm going to title this video, but that's what this video is going to be about. I want to firstly start off by defining what I mean by an emotionally unavailable woman. What I mean by that, and I just want to make the point clear, it is relevant towards men as well. The reason why I'm sectioning out women is because I'm a guy, I'm heterosexual, I don't have any experience with men. Maybe if the dating game keeps going downhill, maybe there will be some experience with men. Oh dear me. But right now, at least, no, I'm capping. I can't say that. But yeah, I only have experience with women, so I'm only going to talk about women. Okay, I'm not going to talk about it from a female's perspective because I'm not a female. What I mean by emotionally unavailable is I mean someone who is clearly attracted to you, loves to hang out with you, loves to see you, but doesn't want a serious relationship. It's very common. Actually, there are lots of people who will happily hang out with you, happily go all the way in terms of the physical side of the relationship, but when it comes to the more demanding side of it, when it comes to the more romantic side of it, that's where they fall a bit flat. So what these people will typically want is they will typically want a more casual relationship, and I'm going to make a video talking about casual relationships in the future. So these women, they're not really emotionally available in the sense that they don't have the emotions, at least for you, that are required to hold a relationship together, like a serious relationship. And there can be many reasons for that. I would say the main reason is because they just aren't that into you generally, which can be something that obviously is hard to accept. But you've got to accept it. If you have someone who is happy to be in a casual relationship with you, but not a serious relationship with you, would they not want to be in a serious relationship with anyone else? Like, you've got to ask yourself that question. It's very rare that someone would flat out be that emotionally unavailable that they can't have a decent relationship, a serious relationship with anyone else. I mean, it does exist and it does happen. But you've got to be honest with yourself. Okay, you've got to be honest with yourself. The signs that you are in a relationship, a casual relationship maybe, the signs that you are in a relationship with someone like this, the biggest sign will be highs and lows. That's what I can say. Highs because you'll meet up with her and she'll effectively be your girlfriend. Like the way that she will treat you, the things that you will talk about, she's almost like your girlfriend. But then in between dates, in between seeing each other, when you're not physically in contact, that's when, she's not going to be putting that effort in talking to you. A lot of these people, they will not respond to you very quickly. They won't want to talk to you in between dates. And it's a very weird dynamic because obviously when you meet up with them, you're thinking to yourself, this person really likes me. I think this person genuinely cares about me. But then when you're not meeting up with each other, you feel kind of lost and you feel a bit confused. Those two signs, they're so different. You have a girl here who is willing to meet up with you and loves hanging out with you, but doesn't reply to your messages quickly. Obviously, I'm talking about like a specific scenario, but all these scenarios are roughly the same. these types of people, they just won't want to talk to you when they're not with you, because fundamentally they aren't emotionally able to care about you in between dates, if that makes any sense. They care about you when you're physically with them, because you're physically with them, but when they can forget about you, they forget about you. And something I need to make very clear, if you're in a relationship with a girl, maybe you're dating, maybe you're in a casual relationship, maybe you're even in a serious relationship, you know, they are never going to take ages to respond to you, like by accident. Anyone that genuinely loves you and genuinely cares for you will always make an effort to reply to you, because they do not want to seed this idea in your head that they don't like you anymore. Because if they love you, they don't want you to ever think that way. Because if you start thinking that way, not only is that going to negatively affect you, someone who they clearly care about because they love you, it's also going to affect the relationship. You know, if you get insecure about the relationship, it's just going to make the whole mantra of the relationship go down. And if they love you, they want the relationship to succeed. So fundamentally, if you're with a girl and you're meeting up with her in person and things going really well, but then in between dates, she's just not really replying to you, she's not really interested in talking to you, you can tell. You know, if you have these two massive conflicting signs, it's typically the case that she's just emotionally unavailable. And dating someone who's emotionally unavailable is not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of people, you know, when they're dating after a breakup. And once you've gone through a breakup, you kind of go from this transition of missing your ex to missing a relationship. It's kind of sad when you date someone who just wants something casual, they don't want a serious relationship with you because they're emotionally unavailable. You've got to realize that if someone finds you attractive, if someone enjoys hanging around with you, and then the opposite sex to you, it's only natural for them to want to be in a long-term relationship with you. It's only human biology. Like, that's literally how human biology works. It's very rare that you will have someone who finds you know, someone attractive, loves to be around them, but then not want to be in a relationship with them. And normally in the case that it's rare, and I use the word rare as hyperbole because it's not rare at all, it's actually very common, it's normally because they just emotionally aren't available for that. And a lot of people, there's many reasons why they may be emotionally unavailable. Normally it's age. There's this idea that if you're young, you know, you can't have a serious relationship because you're in your prime. You're in your prime years, you can't have a serious relationship. Well, just to quickly disprove that, because I think that's quite a stupid way to think of things. You know, even though a committed relationship and a serious relationship is serious, it's not permanent. Like, yes, of course, at the start of the relationship, you think you're going to be with them forever, but then, you know, you're with them for a few months and then the realism kicks in. You know, you recognize that there are problems. You recognize that realistically, the success chance is lower than 100%, which is what you initially believed of the relationship. Another reason why someone may be emotionally unavailable is because there's someone else in the equation, because they're dating someone else, maybe casually, and they don't want to lose them. And obviously, if they make things serious with you, they have to lose the other person. Maybe they're flat out, you know, in a serious relationship with someone else and they don't want to take it to the next level because they're a coward. You know, there are lots of people who are very cowardly and they use that excuse of, I want a casual relationship, because it allows you to be in this position where, you know, you obviously like them, you want a relationship with them, and then you're going to accept a casual relationship because you kind of expect to change them. But then they just have, you know, a serious relationship that they're in. But they don't want to end that serious relationship because they always, you know, they don't want to commit to a breakup almost. And that's a huge problem. And some people do that. You know, some people do that. No one I know, I hope. Because if you do that, you're a terrible person. There are so many people out there that instead of just breaking up with someone, or at least talking to the person who they're having problems with, that they're in a relationship with, instead they will just line up a replacement. And one of the easiest contexts to, you know, get a replacement is to say, oh, let's be in a casual relationship, because it's easy. You have this, you know, this person lined up, when you're in a casual relationship with them, They don't expect anything more. You know, you can give them low attention and they'll still be into you because that's the nature of the relationship. But people who do that, they're very toxic and they're very bad. People can also be emotionally unavailable because they've got mental problems, lots of different mental problems. And also it can just be down to you. You know, maybe they just don't see you in that platonic way. But then again, that's not really your problem. Like, if someone doesn't recognize that you deserve to be loved, and if someone doesn't want to love you, that's not your problem. You know, you're the prize. That's how you've got to respect yourself. So obviously with like a casual relationship, having a casual relationship with someone who's quite emotionally unavailable, what you've got to do is you've got to make the choice, quite frankly. If you want to be in a serious relationship with someone who's emotionally unavailable and only wants a casual relationship, and let me just reiterate, you know, if she's not talking to you in between dates, if she doesn't seem interested in talking to you between dates, you're in a casual relationship, fundamentally. If you're only seeing her and that's it, and you're just hanging out with her and you're having a great time with her and you're busting a nut, like, you're just in a casual relationship. And if you want more than that, you really have a choice. You know, you can either settle for the casual relationship, and this is where problems start to lie, because if you have someone who's emotionally available and they date someone who's emotionally unavailable, what you find is this dynamic where one of the people is never going to be hurt because they don't really have much stake in the relationship, because they emotionally don't have that stake to give. But then for you, if you're emotionally available, you know, you have a lot of stake in the relationship. Even though it's not a serious relationship, it pretty much feels like it, because you struggle to understand why someone would want a casual relationship. If you're in a position where you're thinking to yourself, how can anyone want a casual relationship? You're probably quite emotionally available, to be honest, and that's a good thing. That's a good trait to have. But as I mentioned before, you really have two choices. If you have the strength to just say the relationship is casual and just sustain that, go for it. You know, you can have great memories, you can have really good times with these types of people, these emotionally unavailable people. And what you can do in the meantime is you can, you know, stay in the dating game. So effectively you're using them, but then they want to be used because that's the nature of the relationship that they want. You shouldn't feel guilty though if you are actually using them, because that's what they wanted. They effectively wanted to be used because they didn't want a serious relationship with you. So that's what you should do. That's probably the healthy thing to do. If you can, understand that the relationship is casual, understand that this person is not ready for a relationship, enjoy the liberties of a casual relationship, and in the meantime, talk to new people. You're not going to be as lonely doing that than if you're just single. And there is always possibility. The thing with love is a very complicated topic. You know, you can fall in love with pretty much anyone. And it can be very surprising sometimes. Sometimes you can be in a casual relationship with someone for half a year, and then all of a sudden they can catch feelings for you. Like, that does happen a lot. I've seen it on TikTok all the flipping time. But you can't put like a lot into wanting that. Like, you've got to kind of accept that you're not going to be in a relationship with this girl at all. That's if you want the casual relationship to continue, and you've got to be happy with the casual relationship. The second choice is just to get out of there. You know, get out of there and spend your energy on someone else, and that's probably the more healthy option. You know, and if you can't handle only being in a casual relationship with her, do not settle. You shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. You shouldn't think to yourself, oh, she'll eventually want me. She'll eventually want to be in a relationship with me, because you're being crazy. You're crazy if you do that, because you're letting yourself up for disappointment. You know, you're just going to be disappointed. You shouldn't be in a position where you're counting on someone to become emotionally available all of a sudden. And as I mentioned before, if they don't want something serious with you, that says more about them than it does you. You know, they're the type of person who could hang out with you, have a great time with you, love hanging out with you, find you really attractive, yet they still don't have that strength to give you really anything. They don't have the ability to give you any attention, because for some unknown reason. You know, they're in this position where they can't give you anything. Even though they enjoy you and they want you, they don't want to give you anything more. And they don't really care about you. You know, and it's very important that you don't fall into this dynamic of you thinking to yourself, oh, I want a serious relationship with this girl, but she's offering me a casual relationship, so I'll just settle for that. Because if you settle for that, if you're emotionally available, you'll just be hurt. And that's the nature of the situation. Now, you can make yourself emotionally unavailable, at least to them. And the way you do that is you date other people, you talk to other people. But as I mentioned before, you know, you can put yourself in a lot of jeopardy if you fall in love with someone and they just don't want a relationship with you. Because the casual relationship, it throws you off. Like, how do you differentiate between making out of lust and love? Like, there's no difference. There really is no difference there. So you might be making out with her, for example, and you may be vibing feelings of love and these rich emotions, while she's there just making out with you because she's like a slut. like that's literally it. So you need to be careful. I know I've rambled a lot in this video. I hope this video's turned out pretty well. Maybe it hasn't, I don't know. But yeah, emotionally unavailable people are people who generally, they just don't seem interested in talking to you. They don't seem interested in being there for you. They only really care about you when there's something for them to gain. And what they're gaining is, they're gaining attention, because obviously you're making out with them and all that stuff is very good attention to give. That's all they care about. And if that's something that you're fine with, because you can benefit from the casual relationship in the same way that they benefit from it, but you just need to make sure you're not in that position of delusion where you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to change this girl. She's going to want a serious relationship with me in the future. No, you can't have that mindset. Because quite frankly, it's just such a toxic mindset to have. And if you're an emotionally available person, that's a good thing. Okay, it's a very good thing, and you should take that in your stride. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Smash the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new today. And I'll see you guys next week for another 10 out of 10 upload. Take care, everyone.